Inside the paranormal world, strange and terrible creatures fill tales and stories of horror and fiction. And it is that imagining impossible creatures that live with us, but that are never seen, has always been part of popular culture. The chupacabra, the rake, the yeti, etc. Lots of so-called monsters that exist on the outskirts, but that very few have actually seen. All that were part of simple legends, until now that I have collected from my email the most surprising videos where it is claimed impossible creatures were recorded. Join me today so that together we can analyze footage, since it will be hard for you to find an explanation on your own. My name is Leonor Clay, and you are watching The Darkest Secret. Today we present 5 strange creatures caught on camera. Number 5. The footage that welcomes us to this top is presented to us as a clear example that at any moment we are likely to witness really strange events. And in this case, it was a footage recorded by a subscriber who for personal reasons did not want to reveal her identity. However, she says that for a while, she and her family have been living with rare events that had occurred in her home, things that move on their own, noises on the ceiling, among others, were what this family had already experienced for quite some time. However, nothing compares to what happened one day, and luckily was recorded by a camera. She and her children were in the courtyard when a small shadow crosses the open door. Disbelieved by what they had seen, she took out her camera, and they entered the home to see what it was about. They never imagined what they would find just a few meters away. She claims they have recorded an elf. I think it may be a doll that is pulled with a rope. However, the girl assures me that it was real, that at that time there was no one with her. Watch the video with light correction and tell me what you see. And do you think that could be a doll? Number 4. The forests have always been synonymous with dark stories and rumors that are intimately linked with mythological creatures. This is why the video that you are about to see caused such a stir. It was on an outing through a secluded forest in Russia, when at one point a man separates from the rest of the group to capture images of the environment. Even though it was only for a few minutes, it was enough time for the subject to live one of the most terrifying experiences he's ever had. Pay attention. Something that seems to just be a lump moves incredibly to stare at the man, who had no choice but to flee this place. I've played this video a couple of times and I feel like it could be a montage. A 3D montage. However, sometimes that seems to be the quickest response in the face of a septic eyes. Do you think it could be an unknown creature? This record caused a high impact in Russia since going viral. A series of publications came to light that spoke about the fact that in that forest there was an enormous number of underground tunnels and caves that, according to the few who know the territory, serves as a home for creatures of the extraterrestrial origin, claiming that in the forests of Russia there are anomalous areas where things often appear without explanation. Do you believe in these stories? Leave me your opinion in the comment box. Number 3. We all know that discos, bars, or nightclubs in general are places where music, people, alcohol, and lights mix, forming the ideal scene to have a good time with your friends. One could never imagine that some phenomena of a paranormal nature could manifest itself in these types of places. However, the girls you now see on screen can testify that this statement is absolutely incorrect. In the video, you can see them very happy. You can tell that it is one of those typical videos between friends. It shows that nothing was recorded with the intention of going viral. They never imagined what was about to happen. I'll leave the video playing to see if you realize for yourself. You noticed it, right? Did you notice that hand? Do you agree with me that because of its appearance, that hand does not match any of the young women? However, the most surprising thing happens at the other end of the screen, where in the background you can notice the presence of a strange face that can be seen in the dark. This video captured both the hands and the face completely accidentally. It really seems to be an inexplicable creature. Number 2. The video that lies in this position is one of the few that has been verified as authentic by experts when it comes to the UFO phenomena. A footage that was recorded by Guillermo, a security guard in the city of Villa Maria in Córdoba, Argentina. It was early in the morning and Guillermo was preparing to make his last round in the enclosure he guarded before the end of his shift. However, suddenly a strong smell of burnt grasslands emanated from the back of his place, put him on alert. Something was definitely not right. As he advanced, Guillermo's tension increased more and more. His dog, who had arrived at the place first, barked in an uncontrolled way. Totally dark and aware that there was no one else, he took out his camera to keep track of the moment in which he was totally impressed when he first saw how on the ground lay perfect circles of burnt grass, an impression that only seconds later literally turned into terror when his camera captured what you are about to see.
Vamos, lobo, vamos. Hey.
I know that the internet is full of videos like this, assembled simply for the entertainment of those who create them when they see how people believe them. However, this footage is real. It appeared in all the news from Argentina. Experts of the UFO phenomena have classified it as one of the most shocking sightings of all time. This video was analyzed by Andrea Perez Simondini, a prominent Argentine researcher of this type of phenomena, who after seeing this record and thanks to her experience in the matter, it was possible to notice how strange lights appear in the background. Lights that, according to her, could be the cause of the strange marks in the grasslands. Andrea uploaded this and other records to her own YouTube channel. I recommend that you visit it. Number 1. Searching for videos on the net is truly complicated, not because there are shortages of it, but because of the overabundance of records that in some cases can be so spectacular that they generate endless doubts as to their veracity. It has been dozens of times that people have sent me this material, an incredibly spectacular sequence, but that in the end turned out to be just a montage. Or this other image, where a young man is seen being dragged by a monstrous creature. Both this and the previous video are part of the record without further context or witnesses, things so spectacular that it is very difficult to make them real. However, despite this, my email has also received records that are difficult to explain. Records such as the one that occupies the first place on this tab. First, let me put you in context. This is a video data from the year 2011, time in which the boy you see on screen played and talked with an imaginary friend, a behavior that according to his parents was totally normal in children his age. However, one afternoon, and while his mother was filming the child, everyone would wonder if the friend he was talking to was really imaginary.
No se puede. Búscalo. Que te ayude.
The boy who recorded says that after crossing paths, the creature left a nauseating smell and an intense discharge on his mobile phone. This video dates from 2011. You probably already know it. However, and despite the fact that I also think it is a montage, this recording has never been denied. Due to its virality, 3D editing experts have not been able to 100% guarantee that it is false. The level of CGI that is required, that is computer-generated imagery, is very far from what it was at the time, making manipulation of this characteristics practically impossible. Even today, creating such an effect becomes very difficult. Therefore, in the movies they use darkness to provide more realism. But this is captured in broad daylight. To this day, the vast majority claim that this video is fake, simply because it is impossible for something like this to happen. I include myself in this position, but there are dozens of investigations that also show that the human eye is not capable of distinguishing what is real from what is mounted. There is a video on YouTube called Can You Spot the Fake?, where three 3D artists try to determine if they are looking at a 3D figure or not. They all focus on the shadows, that they do not correspond, or saturation, or lights. But in more than 80% of the scenarios, they claim to see false details in an image that is completely real. In other words, these 3D artists believe that the natural shadows of things do not correspond to how they should be. This video demonstrates that determining what is false from what is not is a more difficult task than simply saying that it is false because it is impossible. This video, to this day, could be completely real. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.